Welcome to part 7 of the differentiation series. This is the last part of the differentiation series. Today we are going to handle higher order derivatives. Now first of all, let us see what higher order derivatives are. I've taken an example, y equal to sine x. Now y can also be called f of x. It can also be called y0, or it can also be referred to as, of course, y. So these are the three notations that you can give to y0, y, or f of x. So if I differentiate with respect to x the first time, this derivative of y is dy by dx. Of course, sin x, the derivative of sin x is cos x. F of x becomes f dash of x, you know that very well. Y0 becomes y1 and y becomes y dash. If we differentiate this further, so this becomes d by dx of dy by dx, which is denoted by d square y by dx square. So when you derivate a dy by dx, this is the notation you get. You get d square y by dx square, which means we have derivated y twice. This is the derivative of order 2. This is the derivative of order 1. So this is a higher order derivative. This was just derivated once. This is d square y by dx square, so you've derivated y twice. So d square y by dx square, see the operational part, the right hand side is not going to be that complicated. So the derivative of cos x is minus sin x. We are trying to focus on the notations. So d square y by dx square can also be denoted by f double dash of x, or if you're writing it in this fashion, y0, y1, so then the second order derivative will be also denoted as y2, or you can also call it y double dash. Similarly, when you derivate this again for the third time, d square y by dx square will then become d cube y by dx cube. The derivative of sin x is cos x, so this remains minus cos x. F double dash of x becomes f triple dash of x. Y2 will become y3, and y double dash will become y triple dash, and so on. So this is the concept of higher order derivatives. Let's solve some problems based on this concept. So I've taken some problems here. Question number 1, you have y is equal to tan x, and we have to show that d square y by dx square is equal to 2y dy by dx. So let's call this y equal to tan x 1, and let's differentiate with respect to x. So as always, y, the derivative becomes dy by dx, tan x becomes sec square x. I'm calling this 2. I differentiate this again because I want a d square y by dx square. So I derivate dy by dx, so you get d square y by dx square equal to the derivative of sec square x is 2 sec x into derivative of sec x is sec x into tan x. So you get d square y by dx square equal to 2 into tan x into sec x is sec square x. Now from 1 and 2, you know 1, your tan x is y, so you can replace this tan x by y. You also see that your dy by dx is sec square x, so you can replace your sec square x by dy by dx. So you get d square y by dx square equal to 2y dy by dx as is required. This was a very simple question. Let's come to question number 2 now. You have y equal to tan inverse of x, and we have to show that 1 plus x square into d square y by dx square plus 2x dy by dx is equal to 0. So let's just have a look at the show that this is what we have. So let's take the y equal to tan inverse of x and derivate. So dy by dx becomes 1 upon 1 plus x square, because tan inverse of x, the derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x square. Now I'm going to cross multiply this 1 plus x square on the other side. So you get 1 plus x square dy by dx equal to just the 1 on the right hand side. Now when we differentiate again both the sides, this is UV rule. So 1 plus x square into the derivative of dy by dx will become d square y by dx square plus dy by dx into the derivative of 1 plus x square is 2x equal to the right hand side, it's a constant, so the derivative of that is 0. And this is exactly what we want in your show, that 1 plus x square d square y by dx square plus 2x dy by dx, you have 2x dy by dx, and that's proved. Let's move to the third question. Now in the third problem, we have been given y equal to e raised to m cos inverse of x, and we have to show that 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square minus x dy by dx is equal to m square y. So let's differentiate this with respect to x. Let's be a little careful about this. Y, obviously the derivative of that is dy by dx, equal to, now e raised to anything, the derivative of that is that itself. So e raised to m cos inverse of x, the derivative is e raised to m cos inverse of x, but into the derivative of m cos inverse of x. Now just keep in mind that e raised to m cos inverse of x is y. So I'm going to replace this by y in the next step. Into, we keep the constant m outside, into the derivative of cos inverse of x is minus 1 upon root 1 minus x square, right? So we transfer this root of 1 minus x square on the other side. On the right hand side we are left with a minus my. Now at this stage we are going to square both sides. Why do we square both sides? If you see, in show that we want a 1 minus x square. Currently we have a root of 1 minus x square. So if we square it, the root will go away. So you'll get 1 minus x square, but into dy by dx you'll get a whole squared, equal to the right hand side will become m square y square. Let's differentiate this with respect to x. I've cancelled this. There was an error in that step. Let's move to the next step. 1 minus x square into dy by dx whole squared, that is UV rule. So you have to be really careful here. So 1 minus x square into the derivative of dy by dx whole squared. So you just treat it like how you treat a y square. The derivative of y square is 2y into dy by dx. So this will become 2 into dy by dx raised to 1 into derivative of what is inside. What is inside? Dy by dx. So derivative of that is d square y by dx square plus dy by dx whole squared into the derivative of 1 minus x square will become minus 2x. Right hand side you have m square, which is a constant, you keep that aside. The derivative of y square is 2y into derivative of y, which is dy by dx. Now if you look carefully, there is a 2 dy by dx here, there is a 2 and 1 dy by dx out of the whole squared, and there is again a 2 dy by dx here as well. So let us divide throughout every term by 2 dy by dx. So this 2 dy by dx will get cancelled. You will get 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square. You will have a minus x, and into 1 dy by dx is left because 1 is gone. On the right hand side you have m square and you have y, 2 dy by dx has got cancelled, and so on the right hand side you have m square y, and this is precisely what we want. 1 minus x square into d square y by dx square minus x dy by dx equal to m square y as is required. Come to the fourth problem now. You have y equal to log of log x. We have to show that x d square y by dx square plus x into dy by dx whole squared plus dy by dx is equal to 0. So let's differentiate with respect to x. So dy by dx is equal to log of log x, the derivative will be 1 upon log x into derivative of log x, which is 1 by x. Keep in mind that if I transfer this x on this side, you can also write x dy by dx as 1 by log x, just this 1x if it is transferred. So I'm just calling this part as 2. I'm not going to continue with this. I'm just calling it 2 and leaving it aside. I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to take x log x and transfer the whole thing on the other side. So x log x into dy by dx equal to 1. Let's differentiate with respect to x. Now for the time being I'm going to consider this bracket x log x as u and dy by dx as v. So it is x log x into derivative of dy by dx, which is d square y by dx square plus dy by dx into derivative of this bracket. Internally it is a product rule, UV rule, x log x, so you'll have to apply the UV rule inside. So dy by dx into derivative of x log x is x into 1 by x plus log x into derivative of x is 1, so that's getting cancelled, xx, so that's 1 plus log x here, and of course on the right hand side the derivative of 1 is 0. So what happens? You have x log x into d square y by dx square, that dy by dx is going to multiply inside 1 plus log x, so you'll get log x into dy by dx plus dy by dx into 1, so you will have a dy by dx plus log x into dy by dx in that second part of that step. The first part is obvious, x log x into d square y by dx square. Okay, so I'm going to divide throughout by log x. So I divide this by log x, I get x d square y by dx square, 1 log x is gone there. This gets divided by log x, you get 1 by log x into dy by dx. This gets divided by log x, so that log x upon log x goes away, you're just left with the dy by dx. Now what do we do with this 1 by log x? We just call that we just call that 2. 1 by log x is x dy by dx. So 1 by log x is replaced by x dy by dx. So x dy by dx into dy by dx will become x dy by dx whole squared, plus you have this dy by dx at the end. So what do we get? You get x d square y by dx square plus x dy by dx whole squared plus dy by dx equal to 0, and that is what we want in the show, that x d square y by dx square plus x into dy by dx whole squared plus dy by dx equal to 0. We've precisely got that. Come to the next problem now. Question number 5. We have ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equal to 0. We have to show that d square y by dx square is equal to 0. This is your homogeneous equation of second degree in x and y that we've learned in pair of lines. Now, so a, h and b, these are constants. So when we differentiate with respect to x, a is kept aside, derivative of x square is 2x, plus 2h is a constant kept aside, xy is uv rule, so x dy by dx plus y into derivative of x is 1, plus b is kept aside, y square, the derivative is 2y into dy by dx, right hand side equal to 0. So you see there is a 2 here, there is a 2 here, and there is a 2 here. So we'll cancel that 2 throughout. So you'll get ax plus hx dy by dx plus hy plus by dy by dx equal to 0, right? So we are going to collect the dy by dx terms together. So hx plus by into dy by dx, and ax and hy go on the other side. So minus of ax plus hy on the other side. You transfer this hx plus by down. So dy by dx equal to minus of ax plus hy upon hx plus by. I'm going to call this 1. Now you might think, okay, so at this stage we are going to derivate this again, but no, we are not, which is why the sum is slightly different and important. We're going to leave this as it is. We're going to consider your ax square plus 2hxy plus by square equal to 0 again. This time I'm going to write 2hxy as hxy plus hxy. In the first two terms I'm going to take x common, so I get ax plus hy in the bracket. In the third and the fourth term I'm going to take y common, so I get hx plus by in the bracket. I'm going to transfer this x into ax plus hy on the other side, and I'm going to divide, or I'm going to cross multiply, so I'm going to get this x down, and I'm going to take this hx plus by down as well. So what do I get? I get y by x is equal to minus of ax plus hy upon hx plus by. I call that 2. Now if you look closely at 1 and 2, you see the right hand sides are the same, which means dy by dx can be equated to y by x from 1 and 2. I've written that exactly, precisely that. From 1 and 2, dy by dx is y by x. I'm calling that 3. I'm going to differentiate this now at this stage with respect to x. So d square y by dx square will be, this is u by v rule, so x into the derivative of y, which is dy by dx, minus y into derivative of x, which is 1, the whole upon v square, which is x square. Now what do I do? In place of dy by dx, from 3 I'm going to substitute y by x. So x into y by x minus y, the whole divided by x square. Here your x and x got cancelled. What are you left with? You're left with y minus y, the whole upon x square. Y minus y gets cancelled, you get 0 upon x square, which is 0, and that is precisely what we wanted, d square y by dx square equal to 0 as required. Moving to the last problem, we have question number 6. We have x is equal to cos theta, you have y is equal to sine cube theta. We have to show that y d square y by dx square plus dy by dx whole squared is equal to 3 sine square theta into 5 cos square theta minus 1. I repeat, the right hand side is 3 sine square theta multiplied by 5 cos square theta minus 1. So since x and y are given in terms of theta, we have to recall what we've learnt in the previous session, part 6, parametric equations. So you have to differentiate x with respect to theta, you have to differentiate y with respect to theta. So you get your dx by d theta as minus sine theta, your dy by d theta is 3 sine square theta into derivative of sine theta, which is cos theta. And so what is dy by dx? Dy by dx is dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. So what do you get? You get 3 sine square theta into cos theta divided by minus sine theta. So one sine theta got cancelled. So you get dy by dx is minus 3 sine theta cos theta. What if I multiply and divide by 2? So minus 3 by 2 into 2 sine theta cos theta. What is 2 sine theta cos theta? It is sine 2 theta. So dy by dx can also be written as minus 3 by 2 sine 2 theta. Mind you, it is also minus 3 sine theta cos theta. This is just an improvisation. We can even write dy by dx as minus 3 by 2 sine 2 theta using trigo. Now, this is where I differentiate with respect to x. Remember, I am differentiating with respect to x. So dy by dx becomes d square y by dx square. Minus 3 by 2 is kept aside. Sine 2 theta, the derivative will be cos 2 theta. Remember, theta is a secondary variable for x. So you will derivate 2 theta with respect to x. So you keep 2 outside or you keep 2 aside, and the derivative of theta is d theta by dx. But we don't have anything like d theta by dx. But what we have is the value of dx by d theta, which is minus sine theta. So we can reciprocate this d theta by dx is 1 upon dx by d theta. So minus 3 cos 2 theta into 1 upon dx by d theta is minus sine theta here, right? So you replace dx by d theta by minus sine theta, which will go into the denominator. So this minus sign will get cancelled. You get 3 cos theta upon sine theta as your d square y by dx square. Now we are going to take this LHS and we are going to substitute the values of dy by dx and d square y by dx square and try to get the right hand side. So take the LHS as y d square y by dx square plus dy by dx whole squared. Now what is y? Y is sine cube theta. Remember, my right hand side is all in terms of theta, so it makes a lot of sense for me to get everything in terms of theta in all these expressions. So y from what is given is sine cube theta into d square y by dx square is right here, 3 cos theta upon sine theta, so I've plugged that here, plus dy by dx whole squared. So now I have two options to substitute dy by dx. I have minus 3 by 2 sine 2 theta, or I can even substitute dy by dx as minus 3 sine theta cos theta. I'm going to choose the latter. I'm going to take this one. Dy by dx I'm going to replace by minus 3 sine theta cos theta, and there's a whole squared, so I have given it a whole squared over here. So one sine theta got cancelled, so sine cube theta has now become sine square theta. So there will be 3 sine square theta into this cos 2 theta, plus if you square this you get 9 sine square theta cos square theta. Now in these two terms I can take 3 sine square theta common. So when I take 3 sine square theta common, what do I get in the bracket? I get cos 2 theta plus 9 का 3 बच गया, so 9 instead of 9 now we write a 3 here because this 3 is gone out, and a cos square theta. So you have 3 sine square theta outside and a cos 2 theta plus 3 cos square theta in a bracket. In place of cos 2 theta I will substitute the trigo formula 2 cos square theta minus 1. Obviously 2 cos square theta plus 3 cos square theta becomes 5 cos square theta, and you have this minus 1, and so you get 3 sine square theta into 5 cos square theta minus 1 as your RHS as required. So this was the higher order derivatives problems. Until next time, goodbye.